Okay, you go ahead if you want to start.
But I have a question.
Okay.
Bertucci, why don't you? Where did you find all this art in the wood?
The place that Diego and I visited in the Amazon is the house of a photographer and his wife. And both of them have lived in the Amazon for many years, and they bought this piece of land in the Amazon to make a hotel. But at the same time, they want to work with the community. As part of the work that they wanted to do to help the community, they did a project to get money to buy paint, to paint the houses, to make the houses more beautiful. So they gave paint to the people in the town who wanted to paint their houses. That photo that you showed me is one of the photos painted by one of the artists of that community.
Okay, so I have one more question.
Okay.
So did they like pay the person to spray it on the wall or like the miracle? Like did they ask the person to paint it on their walls? Because it's on the
houses.
Yeah.
So, yeah, let me see if I understood your questions. Your question is, did they ask them to paint on the walls?
Yeah, on there.
Yes.
Like, are
yes.
I think you're asking if they're paying the artist to come and paint their house.
Yeah.
Was it like a free painting, or did they have to pay the artist?
No, the artists were people from the community. It was not people from the outside.
But
the
person that lives in the house paints their own house, or it was like artists that lived in that community that painted their houses?
Yeah, in some cases, the artist paint his own house. In other cases, some of the artists painted the house of the neighbor because the neighbor maybe didn't feel that he would do a good job or he didn't have time. So basically, from what I remember, there were like 2 or 3 people who really liked to paint, who painted most of the houses.
Okay.
Any other questions that you remember?
Oh yeah, I remember in the park of
the parrots in Leticia, where
okay.
Where the parrots
I
come
have a
at
question.
night.
How do people get sleep there?
It's so loud.
Okay, those houses, the people who live around the plaza, that's a plaza, a square, let's say a park in the middle of Leticia. Leticia is the name of the city. The people who live around there, they are used to the parrots. The parrots come around sunset. Sunset in the tropical countries is always at 6 p.m. Always, every day it's at 6 p.m. People do not go to bed at 6 p.m. The parrots go to bed at 6 p.m. So the parrots make all that noise like for 1 hour. When it gets dark around 7, the parrots don't talk anymore.
They're like, hello, 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 hello.
So people can sleep, yeah, after that.
Do you remember any other questions like off the top of your head? Did you want to ask her about the pink dolphins?
Yeah. Wait, the pink dolphins.
That's the video. There's a video here, but in the video it's not.
Oh yeah. Well, Mommy explained most of this, but here's another question.
Go ahead.
So, do pink dolphins can live in salt water or they can't?
No.
No, no, no. Those are Amazon dolphins.
Thought they could survive out of salt water.
I don't think so.
They can
Mm,
salt water, but they can't go inside salt water.
They're river dolphins.
yeah, yeah. It's a different species, I think.
And also, we noticed that the pink dolphins are not super pink, and that's something I talked to you about. But Lucci was not in that conversation, right? That the ones
Yeah.
we saw in the video, they were not super pink.
Yes, it's because I remember you telling me because some dolphins are pink depending on how deep they go or something.
No, I don't know why. Why? Lucci?
Well, actually, what you're saying is what's the truth. The truth is that when they are younger, they are gray, and as they grow older, they become pinkier.
Okay, so you saw.
Yeah.
So they were babies. the
So
ones
you
they
saw a
found.
baby one.
Those were young, and you know something that is interesting also is that our guide, who is an Indian who has lived all his life in the Amazon, told us, "Oh, look, it's pink." We didn't see it pink. For us, it was grayish.
Yeah.
So it also depends on your perception. What you see also depends on your perception.
Did you want to tell something about these
I mean,
the figurines? I remember he was very taken by these that were made.
I forgot how they were made again.
They're made out of wood.
Oh, wood. Okay.
Okay, that's a puma in Spanish. I don't know what the name of that is in English.
It's puma.
Puma. Puma,
It's
puma.
the same word.
Ah, okay. Those people are just natural artists. Since they are children, they learn how to work the wood, and that's an animal that they see. It's the same thing with the painters. Those are animals that they have grown up seeing around them. So they just make it with a knife. They take this very beautiful wood and they work it in the afternoons after they do fishing and working the land. And after that, they put some like a paint.
You wanted to ask her another question about this?
Yeah.
We'll show her. No, she can't see it, my love.
Okay. So when you were in the water, when you were on the boat in the forest, I have a question. Is there a fish in there, or is there like pink dolphins or something?
The pink dolphin, I don't think that they will. Okay,
Forest,
in order.
feel of a forest that's covered with water. So that's, I think that's what.
Yeah, that's what I was going to explain before answering your question. What happens is that the river has what is called the dry season and the wet season. So the dry season, the river is, look at my hands, like this narrow. During the wet season, the river goes in the forest. It inundates the forest.
Invades the forest.
Yeah, it invades the forest. Yes, you're right. And only the people who live in the Amazon and who know the forest can go in the canoe. And Jorge knew the jungle very well, so he was able to guide us in the canoe inside. And yes, there are fish. There are fish. They actually, during that time, there is less fish in the river to fish because the fish go around that area that is covered by trees because there is a lot of food in the roots of the trees from things that fall down. So yes, there is, but I don't think that there would be dolphins because it's shallow. It's not very deep, so the dolphins are too big for that area.
I wanted to ask, and I don't know if Luchi remembers this, the video of Jorge knocking on the trunk of the tree.
Yeah.
But they use that to
Oh.
communicate.
Yeah.
Really interesting. Right?
How do you communicate with who?
With other people in the area. Is that what like at what times is it for
Mommy, absolutely very important to tell you.
Yes, Luchi.
for
Yeah.
it, like a thing that they do, I don't know, like what's like I understand how it's used, but what's the like the usage of it, I guess is what I'm trying to.
Well, this is what I suppose. This is not something that I know for a fact. I think this is the way they used to communicate, the different communities. They used to communicate using the trunks of the trees and the different sounds made by the trunks of the trees. But today, everybody has a phone.
Is there good cell phone reception in the Amazon?
There is internet at the hotel. And not in every single room. You had to go to the main lobby. Let's say it's not a lobby because it's an Amazon house, but they have internet. In the different communities they have. Now the Indians they do have internet. They have services. The government puts antennas in different areas so that people have that service.
We have to finish soon. So one last question that you want to ask. Maybe
Okay.
like what is either like what was your favorite thing or
Yeah,
your
that.
least favorite thing?
I have
or-
two questions. It's probably quick. What was your favorite thing? What was your favorite part in the first hotel you got to?
She was in the same hotel.
All at a time? Okay.
No, actually, no. You were in 3 different places, right?
Yeah, what was your favorite hotel out of the 3 hotels?
Not the hotels. Who cares about the hotels? Why don't you ask her her favorite experience?
What was your favorite experience?
My favorite experience was swimming in the pozos. Okay, it's like the name, yeah, but it doesn't correspond to a well. You have the river. The river is very large. It's so large that from one side to the other you don't see. And the color of the river is brown because of the minerals that there are in the water. But on one of the sides, in one of the areas of the river, there is something that they call pozos. And the pozos are like small lakes on the side of the water, and they are black.
Yeah, but that's
Here's a picture.
no, I can't really see it.
With your-
Yeah.
So, they are black and the water is very cool. Jorge told us that it was okay to swim there. So I got off the canoe and I went into the pozo and I swam, and the water was absolutely clear, clean. You didn't get any of that mud that you would get from the brown area of the river, and it was so cool. The Amazon is very hot. It was very cool and it was very, very beautiful. That was my favorite experience.
I know that you see a lot of animals, but it's not really explained in your book.
The kind of animals that she saw. So what's your question?
Like, did you see any cool animals?
No, I cannot understand what you're asking.
Any cool animals?
Like, did you see any animals besides
Did
cranes?
I see any animals? Is that your question?
Besides cranes and what's it called? Those
The pink dolphin?
yes, and those squawking things.
The parrots?
Yeah, cats.
Besides the parrots and cranes and the pink dolphin, what other animals did you see?
That's it.
Monkeys.
Ooh.
Monkeys. There were a lot of monkeys in. But Luce, there is something that is very important that I want to tell you. That if you grow up without being aware of the animals that are in the trees, without being aware of the animals that are walking in the forest, you do not see them. Jorge saw all the animals. And huh?
They can camouflage,
The animals are camouflaging.
right?
No, your brain is not trained to see. Your brain is not trained to see. The animals do camouflage, that's true too. But there is something that is even more important, is the fact that your brain is not used to seeing. So Jorge would say, look at the monkeys. And I would not see them. And the monkeys were there. I finally, after a while, I would see them. But most of the time, he would show us animals and I would not see them because my brain was not ready to see them.
Would Dad see them? Would Diego see them? I'm just trying.
I think he saw. I think he saw more than I did, and I discovered that even now, like a year ago, that I went to a park here, and there were some ladies showing me, look at the frog, look at the frog, and they were pointing at the frog, and the frog was on a branch of a plant, and I couldn't see it because my brain is not trained to see the animal. So it's something that is important for you to develop, looking and learning to detect the animals around you.
Ooh,
be a
there's a
good
lantern
detective.
thingy. There's a lantern thingy behind you. There's a lantern.
And there's a switch behind you, Mom. Any other last comments or questions?
You said one to me, but I forgot. What was it? Oh yeah. What was your least favorite thing there?
My list.
Least.
Favorite thing?
It's hard.
Well, no. I love most of the experience. I love the sounds at night, the toads and all the insects and all that. The only thing that I would say that would be the least agreeable experience was the fact that I knew that I had to be careful about snakes and maybe poisonous insects, because in the Amazon there are a lot of snakes, but in this hotel there was an illuminated pathway from the main area of the hotel to the huts where you slept, and there were covers for the beds so that you would not get insects into your bed. There was what it's called there were nets. There were actually nets, so it made you feel safe, but still there is so much life in the jungle that, since I didn't grow up in the jungle, that made me a little bit scared. So
Like you with bugs too, right?
I hate
Yeah.
yeah.
butterflies.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's say thank you to Nona because Puppy has a class, but we'll call
Well,
we'll call you on the phone.
Well,
Say-
no,
Okay.
But close up the interview by saying what?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Nona. And your book was great.
Oh, thank you, Luchi. I'm glad that you liked it, and thank you for interviewing me. Thank you for having me, and I hope that you enjoyed this interview.
Okay, bye.
Bye.